Hi everyone, today I'm speaking to Caron Kipping, who's an expert in recovering from domestic abuse. And I've just got a quick question for you, Caron, around this topic. How does someone know if they are suffering from domestic abuse? Because I think quite often someone doesn't feel like they are, or they feel like they've got to have a black eye or be, been strangled or something quite severe. So there are lots of different levels of this, aren't there? So what should someone be thinking about and realizing if they're suffering from this?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, physical abuse is one aspect, but quite often if it is going to turn physical, that's much later on. So in the lead up to that, there's a whole lot of other types of behavior, and it isn't always physical. Sometimes it's really subtle. So one of the things I get asked a lot is, am I in an abusive relationship? Is this abuse? I don't think it's that bad. If I was going to explain it to my friend, they would just say, oh, you're having a bad week. But actually it's a bad week every week, So that emotional abuse is constant. It kind of drip feeds into your relationship, so you don't actually realize that it's happening. But it's things like being constantly criticized, lots of negativity. You feel like you can never do anything right. There's always a justification for why your partner is getting angry, for why they are jealous. They may be making false accusations, accusing you of having affairs. Isolation is a really powerful tactic. So they will try and stop you from seeing your friends or your family. Again, it can be quite subtle. They can just make it feel really uncomfortable and difficult when they come around to your house, or they'll make excuses not to go to family events, or you might feel that you have to make excuses as to why they haven't come. So you're kind of protecting them and protecting that behavior. So what else? Financial abuse, not allowing you to have your own bank account, or making you justify everything that you spend, maybe telling you that you don't need to work. So they pay for everything. But of course, if you then want to leave, that leaves you quite vulnerable because you don't have any financial income that's independent from them. You might not have your name on the mortgage. The properties that you have might all be in your partner's name. So, if you want to leave, maybe that's going to limit your options somewhat. But it's all about how their behavior makes you feel. In a healthy relationship, your partner should be supporting you, should be boosting you up, encouraging you, supporting you. It should be quite equal. But in an abusive relationship, there's usually one person that is in charge, and the other person is always having to consider them first. So they are constantly reacting, they're constantly trying to preempt their partner's behavior, thinking, are they going to be angry? Are they going to be stomping around the house? Are they going to be making my life more difficult today? What can I do to keep things calm? So we have this phrase called walking on eggshells. So you're living with constant anxiety about their reactions to things. So you're constantly checking yourself and checking your behavior to make sure that you're not doing anything that's going to upset them. And that's very much a huge part of abuse in a relationship, rather than the physical. The physical tends to come when something's escalated it. Maybe they've had a bit too much to drink, or maybe there's a lot of jealousy. You've maybe become pregnant by choice, but then they've realized that there's another person in the mix, and suddenly they're not going to be number one anymore. So, there's lots of different reasons why things escalate into physical abuse, but it's a whole pattern of behavior. It's never just a one-off incident. It's a whole pattern. And once there is abuse in a relationship, then it doesn't stop. It just gets worse.